calling a fellow black woman ghetto was totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. Why do black people have to code switch to make other people feel comfortable? Do they code switch to make us feel comfortable? No. And honestly, I wouldn't want a white person to code switch. I want you to be white. Don't be trying to talk like you're black. Don't be trying to use our slang. If you listen to our music, but don't be trying to play music that you think I'm gonna like. Because that comes off racist. Don't do that. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Straight from the Go, man. I am your host, Dwayne, also known as D from the Go, man. And before we get straight to it, man, I ask that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Before you get comfortable, before you do what you better do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And share. Share with your family, your friends, your loved ones, your co-workers, church members, anybody that you come across. Share. Also, I'm gonna have a sports show coming soon. With one of my homies, we gonna start bringing y'all sports-based content, more sports. On here, I obviously don't want to get into sports too much because I know some of y'all are not into sports like that. So this is not really a sports podcast. This is more of your urban, your everything podcast. See, I'm gonna talk about everything. We still gonna get into sports, but the next show I want to get into that me and my homie was talking about is bringing a sports-based podcast. So I look forward to bringing that to you all within the next week or two. So stay tuned into that as well. But we got a lot to get into, man. I ain't talked to y'all in about a couple weeks. I've been in Vegas, been on vacation, man. Enjoyed myself out there. But I might start with Vegas for you guys, just tell y'all a little bit, give y'all insight of my trip. But man, we got artists calling out artists. We got artists calling out bloggers. We got the No Kings protest. Stephen A. and LeBron, that beef still going mainly because of Stephen A. And him also going at Jasmine Crockett. I don't know if you guys seen that. And a bunch of other stuff, man. But we're gonna start with my Vegas trip. Vegas was fun. We went out there for my mom's birthday. I went with my girl. And we had a blast, man. It was my first time in Vegas. Some of the older people, they had already been to Vegas before, but they hadn't been in a long time. So a lot of this was new to them too. Man, I can't complain. I can't complain. I had a great trip. It felt good out there. The weed was great. The food was all right. Felt like the drinks were very, very expensive though. The drinks were very expensive. The NASCAR track being out there kind of ruined some things because where we stayed at, we stayed a little bit off the strip. We didn't stay on the strip. It actually is better to stay a little bit off the strip when going to Vegas than staying on the strip. Because if you like to smoke and stuff, on the strip hotels, they don't have balconies for you to go out and smoke on. You know what I'm saying? At the hotel we stayed we stayed in the villa right off the strip. You got a balcony and everything. You got a kitchen, living room. You got all that. So it's better to definitely stay off the strip than stay on the strip. Even though staying on the strip would be a good experience, but for me, knowing what I know, I feel like staying off the strip is much better. And it's easier for you to get to your hotel. It's much easier for you to get to your hotel. So I enjoyed it. From day one, we went to the playground place. That was cool. A lot of physical activity. The first day after getting there, because we got there late. We got there Thursday night. We supposed to get there Thursday afternoon. But, with the government and stuff going on, I kind of understand. I don't think our flight had anything really to do with that. But yeah, with all the stuff going on, it's going to be a lot of flight delays and all that. But when we first got there, it was nighttime. So we kind of, Vegas is 24/7. But when you've been on a flight in the airport all day, you ain't really trying to go out and kick it like that. You trying to chill. just watch TV. Even though we young, but like you ain't like when you been in the airport or on an airplane for 8 hours, bro. You ain't trying to go to no outside. You ain't trying to go outside and kick it. No, you trying to chill and do all that. That's exactly what we did. Found a dispensary by the hotel, cheap prices, good weed. Shout out New Leaf, man. And then the next day we walked the strip. Obviously, you gotta go on the strip. Then we ate dinner on the 107th floor with the floor rotating and everything. It reminded me of Signature Room from Chicago, except without the floor spinning. But it was fun. I had a bunch of fun. And then the next day, we were supposed to get $10 tattoos. We ended up getting our $10 tattoos the day that we left because our flight was way at night. So we were still in Vegas the day we were supposed to leave, and we were still kicking it. But that first day we went to pulled up to Planet 13. I didn't even know we were going to a dispensary until our driver said it because the tattoo place was closed, but it was in the same building with the dispensary, like their little food places and stuff that I think is weed infused. If I'm not, I think, but it may not. And they had a lounge in the back of Planet 13. It's like a bar. It was like a bar, but it's more like a weed bar. So you can't bring no alcoholic products. They not serving no alcohol at all. None. So if you're going to Planet 13 think you finna get a drink, you sadly mistaken. You ain't getting no drink. You not getting a drink. You gonna get weed infused stuff. So I'm just letting people know that for people who want to go to Planet 13. Um, but then the lounge is dope though, man. I got high as hell. The first day I really got high because I underestimated how much weed it was, and then I thought my girl was gonna smoke. She took some, but she ain't take nearly enough to the point where I smoked two blunts by myself, and then the roll up that they give you is hemp. It's like natural leaf. It's not getting no backwoods or no game leaves, no swishes, none of that. No tobacco products. They don't serve. They don't give you that. It's called like the name of it was called like camo. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking for that. That shit was good. And yeah, then we went zip lining. We did the one that sit down first on like the shorter rope that go 2 blocks because we didn't know what to expect. It's like they call it Old Vegas. I think it's called like Fremont Street or something. I think it was called like Fremont. And then we went the day that we were leaving, like, cause we didn't leave till like 8 at night, 9 at night. I think it was like 9 at night. We didn't leave till like 9 at night. So we went back to Old Vegas and we went back zipline and we did the Superman one that go 5 blocks and is even higher. That one is better. And they let you do the camera thing. That one is way better. If you're gonna do ziplining, do that one. That one is way better. The Superman, I'm telling you, that one's way better. But all in all, we had a good trip on Vegas. Happy birthday, mama. Happy birthday to my cousin Tyrell, who couldn't be there. But happy birthday to you, cuz love y'all, man. Love celebrating y'all birthday with y'all. Actually, my cousin Tyrell' birthday is today, Halloween. So, well, Halloween night I think it's November 1st now. So, yeah. Also, happy November, happy Halloween, happy November, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, because it's coming up. Like you see, after Halloween, they don't go into Thanksgiving; they go into Christmas. Mariah Carey, she already done put out a thing, the "It's Time" thing. Y'all know what time of the year it is, man. Um, yeah, Thanksgiving really, I don't really consider November like I don't really like Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong. I love being around family. I love eating. But when it comes to like holidays, like Christmas is really like that. Like Christmas is my favorite holiday. Mainly because of my grandma, who her favorite holiday Christmas, and so it's gonna be a great time. I can't wait. I'm happy. I love Christmas, bro. I love Christmas. Great, 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 great time. But um, yeah, man. I love Christmas. I love it. But let's get into let's get into some real shit. Since we talking about Vegas, I don't know if you all were able to catch the Cash Money No Limit versus. I actually was there in Vegas during the verses, and we were talking about going. I had sent it to my mom. Um, my uncle, he was talking about going to Complex Con. I didn't even know that was part of Complex Con. I'm just thinking of the verse. I didn't know that was part of Complex Con. And we were gonna go. I wish we could have went because I would have had a better Vegas story for y'all. But um, we didn't go. I wanted to go so bad. I was pissed. I wanted to go because I like Cash Money. For real, I like Cash Money. No Limit, cool, but I like Cash Money. Like Cash Money, like they're more like obviously they got more popular people over there, of course. But I kind of grew up on Cash Money. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Lil Wayne, obviously. So, and my mom used to like Cash Money back in the day too. My mom was young when Cash Money was popping. So, my mom was like, she was grown. Like when I say she young, she was in her early 20s and maybe late teens when young Cash Money was popping. That was right when I was born too. So it's natural to like Cash Money. No Limit. Obviously Master P is a great CEO, but obviously I didn't listen to much. Like I listened to like No Limit. Don't get me wrong, I listened to No Limit, but like not how I listen to Cash Money. Like I don't really listen to No Limit songs like that. Like Down for My Niggas, I listen to that, but a lot of some of the other stuff I don't really listen to like that no more. But it was a good verses, man. No Limit showed out. No Limit came in united. That's mainly why they won the verses. Cash Money looked discombobulated. No Lil Wayne there is the major reason they lost. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole verses, but the parts that I watched, yeah, Cash Money, like Cash Money got records, but when it comes to verses, it helps that the actual artist who rapped that song or who made that song is actually there. And you can't play a million Wayne not there. You can't play certain songs and Wayne not there. You know what I'm saying? So Wayne not being there lost Cash Money the verses off rip. No Limit had everybody there outside of Mystical. Um, and there's a reason Mystical ain't there, and we not yelling free him, keep him. We don't do rapists. And this not and what he in jail for is actually not the first rape case he ever had, which is I found insane. Like you just can't keep your dick to yourself, can you? You don't know how to not touch people, can you? So, um, they really didn't need Mystical though, because I don't think Mystical, even if Mystical was free and he wasn't a nasty nigga, like your biggest hits ain't even with No Limit, no way. You can't come in and play doom doom doom. You can't come in and play that because that's not a No Limit record. Um, but if he could have played that, oh, that would have shook shit up. I like Mystical old music. I just wish. No, I hate seeing some of our legendary figures end up in nasty shit like rape, or end up in shit like murder, or end up in shit what Diddy going through with sex trafficking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate seeing our legends just ruin their legacies. But it was dope to see the Cash Money and No Limit versus. Obviously it couldn't be. It should have been. It should have been in New Orleans. I think it would have been better. But I understand they're trying to keep people safe. And obviously, New Orleans been having too much going on this year. Like from the first day of 2025, when that man ran over all them people and got out and started shooting people. From like a month ago, where it was a sort of a mass shooting. It wasn't as bad as the one on January 1st, but it was still a mass shooting. So New Orleans just had too much going on this year anyway. But I did like the verses. I wish I could have seen Wayne. So it could have been a even verses because they No Limit brought out Snoop. You know what I'm saying? So it would have been fun to see. It would have been fun to see if um, Wayne was there, but he wasn't, and that's unfortunate. And hopefully, we do get to see Wayne in the verses. But before I get to the debates that did spark, I want to shout out Master P for creating custom, colorful wheelchairs for children that are in need in New Orleans. Shout out to him. He always been a hustler, always been ahead of his time, always, you know, not just done stuff for money, but did stuff for the betterment of his people, trying to show his people, hey, all these white people can have their own cereal and have their own brands and shit. Why can't we create that? Why can't we create our own? Why do we gotta always go to them? Let's create our own. I wouldn't be surprised if Master P ended up creating his own grocery store or some shit, or creating something. I think we do got to start. We used to have our own grocery stores back in the day. Like, I don't know about y'all. I grew up on 83rd and King Drive though. I'm from Chatham in Chicago, and you know, there used to be a lot of black owned businesses in Chatham, especially on 79th and King. Well, 79th period, from 79th and like Wabash or 79th. Is that state? Might be state. 79th and Lafayette and state all the way to like 79th and King Drive, even more down all the way to like 79th and Maryland. It used to be a lot of black owned businesses in Chatham, and you know, with some of these gangs getting bigger and bigger, they just fucking the city up. So I remember the grocery store we used to go to like on 78th and I'm not 78th, 79th and fuck, I can't remember the name of that street. But it was right there across. If you from Chicago, you know where Ruggles is at on 79th, the elementary school. Um, I'm trying to see. I'm gonna look it up because I don't care. We gon' we here to have real conversation. Um, I can't remember what street that was on. And I lived right over there. I don't know how I don't remember that street. But that store used to be a that store used to be a oh, y'all looking at me use my phone. uh Shit, where am I at? Oh, okay, this 79th. It used to be on 79th and Prayer. No, 79th and Calumet. That's where it used to be. 79th and Calumet. That's where the grocery store used to be. Um, and you know, it was sold off. I remember the older lady. Me and my grandma used to go in there. Nana used to go in there all the time after picking me up from either school or daycare or preschool. And we used to go in there the whole 2000s up until like the early 2010s. That's when they sold their stuff, and it disappointed me. It showed me what Chatham was becoming in Chicago. And we just got to do better with our neighborhoods, man. Even the library on King Drive, really Vernon, really is Vernon. Even the but it's no, it's King Drive. No, that's King Drive. Yeah, that's King Drive. The the library though, the library looked like a jail. Like you gotta go through security to get in the library now. It's sad, sad man. You always have to go through a metal detector. Obviously, you can't be brain shit, but it's even worse now, man. So, but let's get back into the verses that we were talking about. Hypothetical verses. I don't know if you all seen them on Twitter. I'm mainly on Twitter, so and Instagram, but you know, debates is really on Twitter or X, if you want to call it that. Twitter for me though. It sparked a lot of debates for verses, mainly with Jay Z, but obviously it sparked up another debate between Chris Brown and Usher. Um, I don't know why people keep putting these two together, but I also heard R. Kelly and Usher going on too. Like, well, R. Kelly ain't gonna be out of jail to even go against Usher. Um, but I know a lot of people think that R. Kelly gonna mollywop Usher. It ain't gonna be as bad as y'all think. I think Usher can get more rounds than y'all think he can get. I think Usher got is just as good as music as R. Kelly though. I don't know why where this thought that R. Kelly is just this dominant figure. And and to me, like when we talking about a versus, You cannot play songs that you wrote. No, you gotta play songs that your voice is on. We don't want to hear a song from. We don't want to hear like no. It wouldn't be fair if not Michael Jackson, but on that thought, it wouldn't be fair if R. Kelly pulled out a Michael Jackson song, bro. No, you didn't sing that song. Yeah, you wrote it, but you didn't sing it. So no, I want artists who R. Kelly got plenty of songs that he wrote and sung himself. He don't need to go get songs that you wrote for other people. I don't like that. Because technically that's not your hit. You know what I'm saying? Technically that's not your hit. So you can't um do a verses and it's not technically your song. I know a lot of people would like if we gonna do that, it gotta be a producer versus producer versus not an artist versus an artist. Because writing songs for other people to me that don't like yeah it counts but it don't count. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a always. I mean, like, I know it's hard to say this in today's climate, but I'm always go for my Chicago people. So if it was R. Kelly versus anybody, it would be hard. I understand, but I would vote. I would go for R. Kelly, man. Just cause he from Chicago, I gotta go with Kels. Now Usher and Chris Brown though. That would be tough. I know a lot of people gonna think like Usher gonna mollywop Chris Brown. It's a generational thing. I think it's closer than y'all think. Yeah, I don't think y'all really listen to Chris Brown if y'all think that he gonna get mollywopped. No, he wouldn't get mollywopped by nobody, by anybody. He wouldn't get mollywopped. So, um, but the Jay Z's like they were they put Jay Z against everybody. They put Jay Z against Nas, Ye, Wayne, Drake. They put him against everybody. All four of them names they put him against. I think his best verses out of all four of those names, the person who will give him the most trouble is Kanye West. I know y'all thought I was gonna say Wayne or Drake. I know y'all thought I was gonna say that, but to me, here's why I think Nas, love Nas. You don't have the catalog to go against Jay Z. I know I seen rap purists, hip hop purists on Twitter. They made a list of songs that Nas can play against Jay Z. I said, if you playing that list against Jay Z, he's gonna lose. A lot of people don't know them songs by Nas. Like, yes, Nas is one of the greatest rappers, absolutely. But no, you can't play them songs against Hove. Do y'all know the records that Hove got for real? Like some of y'all don't really know the records that Hove got. The reason that Kanye will be a better versus is because not only is Kanye himself a, a super mega star, Kanye did a lot of stuff for Jay Z. So really, Kanye could be like, "Oh, I remember when I did that for you." But let me give you a beat that I gave to you originally that I did for somebody else. Or, oh, you want to go there? Like, Ye can pull Jay Z card more than any of them artists up there. And Ye got the hits, bro. Ye got him by himself. He got him. She talking about can't tell me nothing. Jesus walks like um all falls down is not just him by himself, obviously, but mainly is him by himself. I don't forgot her name. I think her name's Selena though. Selena Johnson. She did the chorus. But then you got Through the Wire. You got like Ye got so much, and then obviously you got the slow jams. Um, yeah, I think Ye can. I think Ye would beat Jay Z. Actually, I think Ye would beat Jay Z, and I think Jay Z is the greatest ever because of his longevity, because of the albums, the songs he has. He is the GOAT. Obviously, I think you know. I hold Tupac in high regard. But obviously, when your life is cut short, so young at 25, it's hard for you to be the GOAT because you still have so much left. You only 25. Imagine we seen Tupac till he was at least 35, maybe 40. What how much more better music do we get from Pac? And then that's when I say, Pac is the greatest. But you gotta have double digit years to be the GOAT to me. I think you can't be the GOAT and be under 10 years. It wouldn't be fair. Because when we talk about the GOAT of music, we talking about Michael Jackson. How many years Michael Jackson got? He got like at least 40 years worth of a catalog. I don't think nobody got more years than Michael Jackson. Maybe one of the Isley brothers might. Ronald Isley, he might have. He might be the only or Stevie Wonder at this point might have more years than Michael. But when the last time Stevie put out an album anyway? Like I don't remember the last time Stevie Wonder put out an album. He don't got to put out another album though, because he's Stevie Wonder. He don't got to put out another album. He never got to put out another album again. He's Stevie Wonder. Oh yeah, Stevie Wonder. Him and Michael Jackson did the same amount of years. Him and Mike did about the same amount. Stevie Wonder's first album was 1962. Michael Jackson's first album was like 1968. Obviously, it was with the Jackson 5, but that counts because it's mostly his voice. So that counts. Ain't no Jackson 5 without Michael Jackson. None. Ain't none. You seen in the movie, the Jacksons can go on without Jermaine. It can't go on without Michael because he's the lead singer and he's the only one who really got the voice to do these songs. The rest of them don't have the voice to do the songs. Even when Mike got older, he still had the vocal ability to, switch the tone of the songs where the other guys they don't have that. And he's a showman. So Michael Jackson, him, Stevie, you know what I'm saying? When you the GOAT, when people call you the GOAT of something, you gotta have at least 10 years in this shit. I would say even more to be the GOAT, but you gotta have at least 10. If you have a strong 10 years, that beats somebody who had a long 30 years. You know what I'm saying? If you got a strong 10-year stretch where you put out nothing but bangers, you gonna outdo somebody who got 20 years in something that, may have a lot of music but don't have a lot of impact. So it sparked a lot of debate though, but I think Kanye will win it. I think Kanye would be the hardest rapper to go against. Even more so than Jay-Z. Like I think even Drake, like love Drake, but some of them pop songs that was going on like 5, 10 years ago, that wouldn't hit today. Like Hotline Bling, that ain't doing it. I'm sorry. That was good for 2014, 2015. That ain't doing it in 2025. I don't want to hear no Hotline Bling and no verses, especially not from Drake. Like, I feel like Drake need a nigga like me to do his verses because I know what songs is gonna go crazy. I know Miss Me gonna go crazy. I know Over gonna go crazy there. You know what I'm saying? I know what songs is gonna go crazy at which moment. I feel like I could do a lot of these artists' verses for them and help them win. Even Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, like you can't play like for me. A lot of people feel like Wayne hit records are too commercial. I would say his only hit record that's too commercial is Lollipop. Everything else is not super commercial. How to Love was a hit. I don't. Somebody said that was too commercial. No, How to Love was a hit. But you still got 6 foot, 7 foot. So I can go on all day about who can win this versus who can win that versus. At the end of the day, all these guys are great artists. They're gonna be remembered forever, and you can't tell the story of hip hop without any of the guys that I named, or R&B without any of the guys that I named. So shout out to all of them. I like seeing verses. To me, I don't even look at it as like verses. It really ain't about who had the better songs. It's really about performance. That's why the Locks beat Dipset. A lot of people go back to that performance because that was legendary. Jadakiss mollywop Dipset. Like Dipset, it just wasn't hitting, and you already know Dipset into it. So yeah. From the verses. Speaking of verses, I don't know if you all seen, but they They are saying that hip hop doesn't appear in the top 40 in the top 100 for the first time since February 1990, ending a 35-year, 8 month, and 3 week stretch as of late October. And I thought that was interesting, but it's good. It's bad, but it's good because now that it doesn't appear in the top 40 means that a lot of you garbage ass artists ain't gonna be here for long. People not accepting mediocrity no more. We want to hear greatness, and that's not just talking about people like Ice Spice. We talking about some of you mainstream artists who was mainstream 5 years ago who had the world lit. We talking about you, little baby. We talking about you, Thug. We talking about you, Drake, Future. No, we talking about all of y'all. Y'all getting away with mediocrity. A lot of y'all was getting away with mediocrity, and when the beef is the best thing that ever happened to hip hop because hip hop needs to fall to find out how to rise back up. We don't want to hear no more of that violent drill rap, which drill early on was good. Drill now they just too violent, too telling too much, talking too much. You know, um, just doing the most. And I just think that hip hop was always meant to be underground. It's not hip hop is never like I want you guys to understand. Hip hop rap is not meant to be judged by how it charts. We don't give a fuck how it charts because at the end of the day, some of them people don't really understand hip hop anyway. They like hip hop that makes them feel good. That's why Tyler the Creator and Travis Scott and Drake and all of them is white people's favorite rappers because those rappers make them feel comfortable. Like even Travis Scott, like he had a whole mosh pit at his concert, but you a hip hop artist. To me, Travis Scott was never hip hop. He's always was alternative. Like even Tyler the Creator, like you see that he upset that most of his fan base is white. Well, you should go back to your early music and hear how you were talking. Look how you were tweeting. You were tweeting like a tap dancing raccoon. So now you mad that most of your fan base is that? Most of your fan base is racist white people who don't understand black art. Now you mad at that. You gotta look back on what you did early on. I know you were young, but that's on you. You wanted your fan base to be like that. That's how you wanted to, come out. So that's how it is. Um, but hip hop, please believe hip hop being not being in the top 40 is not a bad thing. It was always meant to be not I don't want to say underground, but it was always meant to be misunderstood. It was always meant to be that. And right now, to me, hip hop is still in a good place. I've listened to a lot of good music this year. Um, the past years weren't even all that. Like y'all make it seem like these niggas was putting out heat in the last 3 years. No, they weren't. I ain't heard a classic album probably since 2020. A classic album, classic rap hip hop album since 2020. I haven't heard one. Well, I heard obviously GNX and the clips and I don't know how to say his name. Is it Jid or JID? Either way, he put out a good album. On Card, he put out a good album, but I haven't heard a real classic since my turn. I haven't heard that's a real classic. Um, haven't heard one since then. But hopefully, rap hip hop gets back to the point where it's charting, and not only that, but I want hip hop to get back to regional sounds. People need to start sounding like where they come from. And then you mess with other sounds when you feature with people. But don't be trying to be like somebody else. No. That's why I didn't like it kind of started with Chief Keef where people wanted to be like him. Then now you got people Like even like in New York, right? When they had their drill wave going on, you had people who was rapping on the same beat as Pop Smoke or trying to be like him in their songs, or then you had another wave where people wanted to be like K Flock and them, and they rapping all the same. I'm like, bro, who are you niggas? Y'all all sound the same. And when I went to New York, they made it seem like it was the hottest shit ever. That shit was weak, man. And I can't believe Herb got on a platform before and tried to make it seem like New York drill was better than Chicago drill. Not even close. Stop it. I can believe Herb said that. He pissed me off when he said that. No, they not. They not even close. Their drill is not nearly as impactful. Nobody's listening to New York drill and be like, "Oh man, he could have been that." No, you know how many. Chicago should be running the rap game right now, but a lot of so many rappers in the streets, and then you dissing people, and you still in these same hoods, and then you getting caught lacking. Like L.A., when I hear the way he died, like that shit don't make sense to me. But it sounds like he got backdoored. Even Pappy, like shit don't make sense to me how you got killed like that. So even JoJo, he put his whole side on the whole like this back when people was rapping GD for real. He put the whole GDs on. If it wasn't for JoJo, bro, that GD shit don't take off. Like it would have took a while for Duck to take off. It would have took him a while. Cause even if you listen to Duck old music wasn't all that. I had a couple songs, but I didn't like Duck back then like that. But we going way too far off base. Um, but we gonna stay on rap because there's been a lot going on in music. I seen the other day NLE Chopper called out Young Boy. He was dissing him in his new like Tupac dress up. I don't know what the fuck to call it. He was kind of like, guess he was trying to pay his respects to Pop, you know, and he dressed up as him in the music video. I didn't like it. He used the "Hit 'Em Up" instrumental. He sampled that. I didn't like it, but he said that Young Boy is a bad influence on the youth, and I get it, but your name is NLE Chopper. You should be the if you gonna talk about people, bro, change your rap name. Your name is NLE Chopper. How you gonna talk about somebody and you got a gun sound or what people use as guns, what people describe as guns. Like I know, especially in Chicago, we make them chopper sounds, make them choppers clap. Like I heard that in a bunch of drill songs, bro. Your name is NLE Chopper. You can't talk about nobody. And then don't find God and start trying to judge people, bro. Who are you? Like who really? Who are you? You can't do that. Like I didn't like that was nasty work from NLE Chopper. That was nasty work. I like it though because I can't wait to see. I want to see another rap beef, but between the younger group. Hopefully it don't turn deadly. But yeah, NLE, stop it. You can't be judging people. I like it for rap beef purposes, but I don't like it because it sounds like you coming off judgy. And I'm pretty sure Young Boy understands. Like, I need to start preaching positivity. But I seen Young Boy do some real shit at his concerts. Like when people start fighting, he'll stop the concert and be like, I ain't going. I'm not starting back up again until you niggas figure out what the fuck going on. So young boy, man, he can't help that the music he made early on was like a little violent. He can't help that. Obviously, he can't. He could at the time, but where people come from, you can't help that. Like when Sosa was started doing drill, we didn't say Sosa like we love Sosa, but also Sosa music wasn't all drill. But you had to actually listen to Chief Keef to understand it. People think because his biggest record is Finito or I don't like that. That was Chief Keef's content. Period. It wasn't. That's why I didn't stop listening to Chief Keef when my mama told me to. And then she tried to get my daddy to tell me no. So no, I'm not listening to either one of y'all. I'm gonna listen to what I want to listen to. If I want to listen to Chief Keef, I want like Chief Keef ain't telling me to go out here. Chief Keef just speaking about his life, and every song he in is not about drill. Like I can tell some people didn't listen to Macaroni Time or KK or Love No Thotties or Every Day. I could tell she say she loved me, whatever that is. Like, yeah, he'll have some lyrics in there that would talk about an op a little bit, but it wouldn't be about busting at an op. I'm gonna kill you right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We did this to your homie on that day, and it pulled up in a blue car. Like, no, that's drill now. People think drill now is what Chief Keef was doing. Chief Keef was totally different. It was music. It was obviously some of it was violent, but some of it was like we get money. Like we in fast cars. We get, you know what I'm saying? That's we smoking dope. Like that we getting cash every day. Like that was Sosa's content early on, but you had to really, 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 really be there to understand it. Some people weren't there. Um but we're gonna move on from that. Let's get into some real shit though. Um, I don't know if you all seen the. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Hold on, let me pull up my article. Um, but I don't know if you all seen, but oh dang, get off my screen. But Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones, few NBA players, they were all arrested last week, October 23rd. That's when I was on my way to Vegas. I was pissed that I recorded or I didn't get a chance to record last week. But they were all arrested as a part of their pair of wide-ranging investigations related to illegal sports, betting, and rigged poker games backed by mafia. Authorities announced Thursday Billups and Rozier had been placed on leave from their teams, unpaid leave, by the way. The NBA players don't like that, especially the NBA Players Association. They don't Players Association. They didn't like that. Um, a total of 34 people were arrested as a result of years-long investigation covering 11 states involving tens of millions of dollars. FBI Director Cash Patel said, we're going to get into Cash Patel sooner or later. We're going to talk about him a lot on this podcast because I feel like he's not qualified to be the FBI director. And I heard that from a couple people, but then I looked into it myself. They're not lying. He never served in the FBI and he never served as a senior leader or senior management before then. So why are you the leader of the FBI? But we'll get into that some other time. We're here to talk about the NBA players. But Rozier, um, he was arrested. He was accused of participating in a illegal sports betting scheme using insider NBA information. Um, is part of the scheme, and I got more to read. I'm gonna go to the actual article that I read about it the other day, where basically Terry Rozier was giving information to his friend. He was selling information to his friend, who we believe was his friend. I'm trying to find the article. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a second. Okay, I found it. Rozier at the time was a starter for the Hornets. He told Danero Laster, a childhood friend, that he was going to remove himself prematurely from the game in the first quarter due to a supposed injury and not play further. Laster, basically, his friend turned around, sold the tip, and told other people. And now five or six of them are all co-conspirators. Damon Jones, he was selling information on NBA players' injury to bettors while he was an unofficial assistant coach for the Lakers. Um, he is said to have texted a co-conspirator that a certain player would be out when the Lakers face Milwaukee Bucks on February 9th, 2023. Um, get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight before the information is out. Quote, Jones said, according to the indictment. The game started, fans and viewers learned that LeBron was out. So the player he was talking about was LeBron that day. But I'm pretty sure that's not the only time he gave out information. Like Damon Jones been around multiple locker rooms around the league. Pretty sure it's not the only player he gave information out on. And then Chauncey Billups, basically his indictment was on a poker game. I want to find the shorter version because it's too much. They got all of them. They got all of them on the same thing. But basically, he was a part of a federal illegal gambling investigation. Um, he was accused of involvement in the scheme with alleged mafia members to run rigged high stakes poker games. According to the indictment, celebrity face cards included Billups were used to lure unsuspecting wealthy gamblers to games where technological devices such as an X-ray table and rigged shuffling machines were used to cheat victims out of millions of dollars. Billups appears to match the description of an unmatched co-conspirator who allegedly leaked non-public information about the Trailblazers intentionally tanking the game in March 2023. This information was allegedly used by other defendants to place bets against Portland. Yeah, so this is really a lot. It's more. You want to go out and read it. There's a lot more information out there. But I will like to say, I'm disappointed in all of y'all. I've been watching basketball at this point in my life for, if not 20 years, if not a little over 20 years, at least about 20 years. I've been watching for a long, long time. And Chauncey Billups was actually one of my first favorite point guards. And I'm disappointed to see him on here. Because you would think somebody like him knows better. And then Terry Rozier, I don't even know, man. As far as I know, Terry Rozier is on a 4-year, $96 million, damn near $100 million contract. You make $24 million a year, and you're a part of a gambling scheme. Why would you cheat yourself out of money like that? You making $20 million a year, and you feel like you have to cheat? Even if your friend said, "Yo, Terry, help us out a little bit," you shouldn't have done that. You are in a position where you're making basically life-changing money. You're making generational wealth. That's $24 million a year. That's generational wealth if you know how to if you know what you're doing. That's generational wealth. And you fucked all that up over a couple $1,000. How much money was he gonna get if he won? You should have told your homie, nah, your homie's gonna be your fucking downfall, man. We seeing the same thing in the rap game with Dirk. Where you taking care of all these gang members who ain't doing shit for you, who ain't trying to help you grow, shit, who ain't really putting out great music themselves. Some of them were like Lil Zay Osama was. Lil Zay was, but Duty Low, you was alright. Mimo 600 was alright. Buka was alright. But none of them was putting out projects by themselves that was making them stand out. And then you got these extra other gang members who just leeching off. They not even rappers. They just leeching off. Not making no money themselves. Smoking free blunts. I mean, y'all need to get these people away from y'all, G. Stop bringing people around you who ain't doing shit for you. This for, Dirk, Terry Rozier, anybody. Y'all got more to lose than they do. You got more to lose than they do. And if you fall, guess what? Your whole family falls. Your whole family falls. Now, guess what? You can't take care of your family how you were before because you let your friends fuck it up. You put your people before you put your family. Think about your family when you're doing shit, especially if you have a family. It don't matter if you don't have kids or not. Think about your mom. Think about your dad. Think about if you got a grandparent or two or even more alive. Think about your grandparents. You worked your way all the way up here to make all this money, and now your family is about to go back to struggling, or not even. I wouldn't say struggling, but your family is definitely gonna have to make a way without you because you not getting paid. So how they gonna continue to go to the school they're going to? How they gonna continue to eat? How they gonna continue to have lights over here? And we know you live in a big house. You get what I'm saying? You messed up your not only your life, but you messed up their life, and now y'all got to find a different way to make means because you out here cheating on sports gambling. You should have told your friends, hell no. This is mainly for Terry Rozier because what Chauncey did was a little different, but even he got kind of caught in some sports gambling, but his was mainly poker. But it's like I'm disappointed in all of y'all. Damon Jones, like you, not saying that LeBron is the only player that got something to lose, but he probably has the most to lose than anybody in the NBA. The most. And he's one of our black icons with black family who you never heard nothing bad about in the media. Like the most you heard bad about him is going to Miami or he ain't the GOAT, he ain't this, he ain't that. You hear that type of stuff, but you ain't never heard him in like no indictment or no gambling issues or rape issues, anything like other people were. Some of y'all goats were. We never heard him in things like that. And for his name to be mentioned in this and he got to clear his name and everything like Damon Jones, you gotta know better. Like everybody need to watch who their friends are, especially when you got something to lose. Cause a nigga like Damon Jones will bring you down. Or a nigga like Terry Rozier, Laster friend will bring you down. Because you got to say no. I mean, LeBron didn't know, but Terry Rozier knew better. You know better. You making 24 mil a year. You don't need to cheat. That's the thing. That's the problem I got with you making 24 million a year. And you just cheated yourself. Now you finna have to face this charge. Right now you on unpaid leave, which NBA players are actually upset about. And I'm actually gonna read about that because I think that if the NBA suspended him without pay and that wasn't in the thing, NBA is wrong. So NBA Players Association rips league for placing Terry Rozier on leave without pay. And they quote, "Why?" And I quote from NBA Players Association. While we are in agreement with the league that upholding the integrity of the game is the utmost importance, their decision to place Terry on leave without pay is counter to the presumption of innocence and inconsistent with the terms of our collective bargaining agreement. We plan to challenge their decision via the proper channels. The paychecks for both Billups and Charnia will be placed in escrow pending the outcome of their federal cases, which are in the early stages with the FBI. Billups allegedly worked with the mob to scam players, and Rozier allegedly influenced outcomes of his player props in order for confidence to win hundreds of thousands of dollars while betting on his performance. So I do think, yeah, hold the integrity of the game, but if in the contract it says if placed on leave we still can get paid, you have to do that. You can't say he can't get paid. That's not fair. And I think even if this is real life, when you suspend people, they're still supposed to get paid, aren't they? I don't remember. I don't know no job where you don't get paid just because you suspended. He didn't get charged for it. We don't know if it's necessarily true, but it could be true. I'm not gonna be totally against it because Michael Porter Jr. brother got caught doing it, but I understood why he was doing it because he was on the lower tier. But in the same breath, like even still, like you earn more money playing the game of basketball than you will on one bet. You don't need to bet. I think sports players should just understand not to be. I don't understand how Terry Rozier didn't understand that either. After Michael Porter Jr. brother got caught doing it, why would you do it? That was dumb. And any other NBA player think about doing it, don't do it, bro. It's not worth your career. It's not worth your contract. A lot of y'all are making $10 million a year. What the fuck do you need a couple extra 100,000 and and it's not because you don't like. I'm not saying not to get a couple 100,000 just because you're making 10 million, but not if it's gonna cost you your $10 million a year job. Are you dumb? 10 million a year, you making more than most people. You are in the top 10%. What are you like? What are you doing? It's just stupid. I'm definitely like I said, I'm definitely disappointed in Chauncey the most because he know better than all of them. He been around the NBA for damn near 30 years. He understands the most. I mean, Damon Jones too. You too old, but from what I read, Damon Jones he been in debt for like years. He had a lot of stuff. So Damon Jones' situation is different. And Damon Jones in his career didn't make much money because he was really like a lower tier role player. So he probably wasn't making much money, especially playing in the 2000s. If he on the lower tier, he probably making 879,000 a year, which is still most than more people. But at the end of the day, you know, you shouldn't be in places that you know you can't afford, right? Like a lot of these players, they want to live above their means while they're playing because they got the means coming in, but don't realize, like, bro, an NBA player career is short compared to other careers. Y'all don't have the longevity of a doctor, of a lawyer, of an engineer, of a nurse, of a psychologist or a therapist. You don't have that shelf life in the NBA because your job depends on your physical more so than your mental or using your brain for certain. I mean, obviously, sports you still got to use your brain a little bit, but it still depends more on your physical. Like, yeah, you can go out there and think the game, but can you play the game? It's a difference. So, NBA players, y'all gotta start thinking more short term. I mean, more long term. Like, all right, I'm probably gonna play between 10 and 15 years. Everybody not gonna play 20 years like LeBron. Let's be real. Some people may not even reach 10. You know what I'm saying? My guy Malcolm Brogdon just retired. He only played 9 years. So not only 9 years, because some people don't even get a chance to play more than five. Like the average NBA career, I'm gonna actually look that up because I remember I remember back in the day. I remember back in the day when I was a kid. I know the average NFL career was like 3.5 years. So yeah, right now the average career length of an NBA player is 4.5 to 5 years, bro. Like my guy, my guy who played for the Mavericks, but he was at the end of the bench. Pilson, man. He got a podcast and everything. Now it's one of the best podcasts in the NBA world. But he only played a few years. He had to think about what he gonna do after the NBA. He got a big podcast. So some players don't play. Some players don't even reach a decade. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the average NFL career now is 3.3 years. So some people play 3 years and they done. So you have to think about that when you playing professional sports. I got this shelf life, okay? I gotta think like if I'm in the NBA, all right. If I get past my fault. If I get past year five, if I get past year five, I'm gonna be good. But even like, cause even in the NBA, you want to make it to 10 years so you could get your pension from the NBA. So if you make it past, it used to be 7. I think now it's 10. But yeah, like if I'm in the NFL, if I'm in the NBA, you got to think first contract. All right, this is my first contract. We're gonna see how the first contract go. I'm not gonna stay in no expensive apartment, no expensive house. Like if I'm in both, like I don't care how much money I get on my first contract. I'm not buying a house. I'm not buying a crib until year 5 where I know, all right, I'm in the league for real, for real. Like I got once you get past your first contract in both leagues, 9 times out of 10 you should be good. But even if you play like, cause Antoine Walker from the city, he made over $100 million in his career, and he filed for bankruptcy. He went broke at one point. Same with AI at one point. You have to think long term. You got to think after your NBA career. Can't think while I'm playing, I'm going to spend all this money and I'm going to have it forever. I'm going to spend it on strippers and ass and buy a big ass mansion. Like a lot of y'all not Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe or Shaq. Y'all not making money like that to be having a house that big. You know what I'm saying? MTV Cribs ass house. So motherfuckers got to really think long term. Speaking of the NBA though, I did enjoy the NBA on NBC. It's way better than I'm not ABC, ESPN. It's way better than ESPN's presentation. Even Amazon's is. Even though I can't always catch the game on Amazon, but it's definitely much better than Amazon's for sure. I mean ESPN's for sure. NBC, that was a great presentation though. Well, I watched that first night up until now. Great presentation. Shout out to the NBA on NBC. I got a lot more to talk about. I'm gonna try to keep it short on all these. I didn't watch the Kamala Harris interview, but I did see a snippet, and she definitely calling out the Trump administration and MAGA and all that. She calling it out. So I can't wait to watch. I'm actually gonna watch after I get off here with you guys. Speaking of NBA though, Michael Jordan spoke on load management, and I'm gonna drop the video, but I do agree. I do agree with Mike. If you can play, play. If you can't, don't. But don't just be sitting out to sit out. Because a motherfucker like me who live in Chicago, obviously we don't got the mega stars on our team right now. So if I'm going to a Bulls game and I'm going to see the Lakers, I want to see LeBron out there. Like NBA players, y'all got. I understand the NBA is hard, but you can't rest during road games. I think you should only rest during home games. If you're gonna rest at home. Don't rest on the road because we only see you once a year in Chicago. Some cities may see you twice. That's still small compared to 41 times when you're at home. So if you're gonna rest at home. Them people can see you all year. Whereas people on the road, we don't get to see y'all all year in person. We don't get to see it. Like I don't get to see like when LeBron, like most of the time for LeBron's before he went to LA, I seen him. I get to see him twice, so I can go either or. Which every time before LA, when I went to I seen LeBron play when he came to Chicago and LA. But before he went to LA, I seen LeBron play every time. When he was in Miami, when he was in Cleveland first and second time, I seen LeBron play every time. So I've already seen LeBron. So, but like if the Warriors come to town, I want to see Steph Curry. I want to see you shoot that motherfucker from the Bulls logo as at the buzzer or some shit. I want to see you do that. I want to see the greatness in person. I want to see Kevin Durant in the Houston Rockets uniform putting on a mid-range clinic. I want to see that. I don't just want to see a bunch of role players out there. I want to see you. We come to see you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with Mike on that, though. A lot of these people just be resting the rest. Really, it wasn't even meant to rest like 20 games. It was really meant to rest like a few games so I could keep you fresh for the playoffs. That's how Pop was doing it. Load management back then was different than now. They just not playing, just not to fucking play. So sometimes they try and protect people from injury, which they should, like Tyrese Halliburton. Even though that was the finals, but still, when he strained his calf, it should have been short from there. It should have been short. Like, all right, you gonna play the first few minutes, then we're gonna take you out. It should have been short, but I understand. Game 7 of the finals, you want to give it your all. You only get one time. You don't know, like people don't really understand. Like sometimes you may make the finals only one time, and in this instance, it was a game 7. So I understand Tyrese Halliburton going out there. Like somebody like Allen Iverson, he only played in the finals that one time. And that was early in his career. Charles Barkley, only went to the finals once. You know, like Nikola Jokic only been one time so far. Joel Embiid ain't been none. Giannis only been once. So sometimes you only get one chance, and you either got to win or you lose. And I understand why Tyrese went out there, but yeah, it's either we win or we lose. So I understand him going out there for that. So aside from that, though, let's go to one of Michael Jordan's favorite media people, Stephen A. Smith. He been in the news lately. I'm gonna keep it short though. Um, Look, man, Stephen A. I understand you got beef with LeBron, especially after what happened earlier this year, or was it like later last year? You know, he pulled up on you in L.A. in front of thousands of people. He walked up on you, and he made you look like a bitch in front of millions of people online and in the arena. He made you look like a bitch, and I understand you trying to show that you a man and that you ain't no punk. And I get it. People gonna ask you about it because it's the biggest story that has happened, and LeBron is a big name, and people want to hear about that. And I get it. You want to be honest, but in the same breath, sometimes, bro, you gotta just take that L, man. Sometimes you just gotta be mature about it. You gotta be like, you know what? It happened. I ain't really think about like your initial podcast tour. Like the first couple times it was cool, but it's starting to get a little corny now. And I understand they asking you questions, but you don't have to go on a rant. You don't have to say I don't like his ass. Just, keep it short and sweet. Be like, it is what it is. I ain't like it, but he felt how he felt. And then you can't be acting like the victim, like all you was doing was criticizing Bronny. No, bro, you brought that man up as a father. That's crossing the line. That's no longer a sports take at that point. Don't speak on my parenting on live TV. Don't do that. Don't do that. And that's the problem Bron had. That's the problem a lot of other people had with what you said. But you still can't seem to see that. And even after saying, this wasn't about Bronny, this was about you. Yeah, it's about me. Because why see, my thing is, right? And after this point, I'm done with Stephen A. and LeBron. Bro, don't criticize me through my son. Don't use my son to criticize me. If you're going to talk about me, talk about me. But don't try to bring my son up to criticize me. Don't do that. Like, that's crossing the line. Do not bring up my son or me in a negative. Don't try to talk about me in a negative light through my son. If you're going to talk about my son's basketball skills and what you see on the court, cool. That's what you paid to do. And we understand, like, yeah, we all deserve to be criticized on the court. But when it comes to, like, criticizing me as a father, that's not your place. Savannah can do that. Even Gloria James can do that. Not Stephen A. Smith. You can't do that. Especially now on national TV in front of millions of people. Who the fuck are you? But speaking of Stephen A., I don't know if y'all heard, him talk about Jasmine Crockett calling her ghetto, but I thought that was totally inappropriate too. And she responded. I actually didn't get to hear her response. I might end up playing her response though.
How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself, I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because, like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas. I don't know. Maybe that just sounds ignorant because it's so simple. But it ain't that damn complicated. We make it complicated. Damn, it's frustrating. It really can be.
But yeah, you don't get to you calling a black woman ghetto in front of your thousands upon thousands of white fans that you have. Racist white fans, I might add, because you're trying to get into the political space, which I understand. But calling a fellow black woman ghetto was totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. Because my thing is, and this has always been my argument, why do black people have to code switch to make other people feel comfortable? Do they code switch to make us feel comfortable? No. And honestly, I wouldn't want a white person to code switch. I want you to be white. Don't be trying to talk like you black. Don't be trying to use our slang. If you listen to our music, cool. But don't be trying to play music that you think I'm gonna like. You know, because that comes off as that comes off racist. Don't do that. Like that. So that's why I didn't appreciate from Stephen A. Smith. Don't call a black woman ghetto. She's speaking for people who don't really understand politics. She's breaking it down for our people. Some of our people don't understand politics the way we may understand it, Stephen A. So for you to call that woman ghetto because she doesn't, she speaks in a way that may be uncomfortable to you. I just didn't like that. I didn't like that one bit. I didn't like that one bit, and I thought it was totally disrespectful for Stephen A. to do that. I thought it was just I 1,000% thought it was disrespectful because it was calling that black woman ghetto in front of a bunch of white people that you know gonna eat it up and gonna start, you know, basically getting a racist shit off on her because you said that. So you gotta be careful with your words. You're Stephen A. Smith. You have a big platform, and a lot of people know who you are. So you can't just get on these platforms and call people ghetto because they speak passionate and they speak a little loud. They speak differently than what you hear. No, black people don't need like. Why do we have to get away from who we are to make like? That's gonna be the question of the day. Why do we have to get away from who we are to make other people feel comfortable? We got a code switch. We got speaking proper English. I hated that shit. I've always hated that shit. No, like if I was ever to make millions of dollars and be able to live in a bougie neighborhood or whatever you say it is, I'm still gonna be me. I'm still gonna be me. If I ever get to that level, I'm still gonna be me. If I'm in the political space, I'm still gonna be me. I don't gotta be somebody I'm not to appease to them. No, I don't do that code switching. Fuck all that code switching. I'm me, nigga. You either gonna respect me for who I am or move on. But we're not doing all that code switching. I don't like it. I never liked code switching. Even when I went to high school with white people, even though my school wasn't really majority white, it was like 33, 33, 33. But even still, even though we had white teachers, I didn't code switch for them. I talk how I talk. And you either gonna like me or love me or hate me for it. Period. So yeah, Stephen A, get your language together, bro. I got a few more things. I want to shout out the 5 cities that I seen. But Chicago, Boston, New York, LA, and DC. Shout out all of y'all for those No Kings protests. I really respect y'all because most of these cities are the major cities of the United States. Not just the major cities, but these are some of the bigger cities where a lot of stuff goes through in the United States. So shout out to all of these states. You know, DC being closest to the government. You know, LA being LA, New York being New York, Boston, and Chicago even doing it while ICE is there. I respect that. Fuck ICE. Um, And I love that my city just stand on business. I love it. I love seeing my city stand on business. Cause we gonna march while you motherfuckers here. What y'all gonna do about it? Nothing. Fuck out of here. So I'm just happy to see my city stand on business. I always love when Chicago stand on business, and I'm loving the era we in because this sets a precedent for going forward that Chicago don't take no shit. We never took no shit from nobody in the first place though. That's why they don't even play with us like that. But we don't take no shit from nobody. I can't speak for the other cities. I mean, being in DC don't take no shit from nobody either. Neither does New York. Or shit, none of these cities do. Honestly, I was surprised to see Boston because Boston is usually a little racist. But I'm proud of Boston. You know. I got a few more things, little small things. Kevin McCall calls out Chris Brown. I'm gonna keep that short. Kevin McCall, get some help, bro. Yeah, nobody want to see you crashing out. And I get it. Like you feel like you should be paid for what you did, but just chill, bro. And Chris Brown responded already, and it seemed like you just went broke. That's really what it seemed like. So, I mean, just get some help, bro. Herb calls out Vlad. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Um, Herb called out Vlad and said, "Vlad, you didn't do shit for me. Like nothing at all. You think the interviews that we did in the past is what blew me up? You gotta be shitting me. You called me every time, not the other way around. I obviously had some kind of emotion. I didn't even know who the fuck you was when I first did an interview with you. I promise. I wasn't even in the loop back then. I just showed up wherever my team told me to, and I'll do another podcast and get 2 views. I do what I want to do. And that's the exact reason why I'm not pulling up on your goofy ass. Cause you care about views. That's why you do and ask shit you ask. I'm not fucking with it. I don't like what you represent. You got no principle. You don't give a fuck about me or nobody you interview. You get a nigga killed or sent to jail or be on to the next victim you take advantage of for clicks and views. Fuck you, buddy. And while Herb is right, I agree with Herb. I agree. Vlad is a piece of shit. So is No Jumper. All in black people business. All I say is if y'all go on these platforms, go ahead and get your money because I know they paying y'all. But if they ask you police questions, you don't have to ask. You don't have to answer them. Just be like, say no comment, or don't even go. Don't even go into it because that's what they want y'all to do for content. They want y'all to get on these interviews, crash out, and tell on yourselves so they can have content. That's what they do. So Herb is right, but sometimes y'all feed into it. You can't feed into it. Don't feed into it. Because you will get locked up. I seen a nigga from Chicago go on No Jumper, talk about some business he shouldn't have been talking about. He probably could have got away with it. But guess what? He got on there talking and now he arrested. That's your fucking fault. Period. That's your fault. So we can't just blame the bloggers and the interviewers or whoever. Blame yourselves too. Blame yourselves too. So that's all I got to say about that. But Herb is right. I think that's all. I did see a Chicago versus New York thing going on last week before I left for Vegas, and all I'm gonna say is, I'm always, I'm always, I'm always gonna, what's the word? I'm always going to go with my city. I'm always gonna go with my city for sure. Chicago versus everybody. But I'm gonna take our city over New York too. But I expect a New Yorker to take their city over Chicago. That's just the nature of shit. But New York is a great city, man. I like it every time I go. Just like I love Chicago, I love New York. Um, haven't been in a few years, but I love New York. I love the city of New York. I like the vibes when I'm there. I like the food. I like their music. I like everything. I like New York. Only thing I don't like about New York is they gotta find a way to be a little cleaner out there. Y'all definitely need to find a way to be a little cleaner. And also to New Yorkers, yeah, our pizza is better than y'all's. Yeah, I stand on that. Now that's one thing I really stand on. Our pizza is better than y'all's. Y'all serve them big ass, jumbo ass, greasy ass slices of pizza, and y'all think y'all pizza better. No, our pizza is better. I mean that. I stand on that one for sure, for sure, for sure. Um, that's all I got for today. Oh, I'm gonna end it with one more thing. I seen a thing on the internet, and it was saying if you had the first pick, this for my sports people, basketball people. If you had the first pick in an alternate NBA universe, which prospect would you choose first? Got LeBron, Wemby, Kobe, and Mike. I'm gonna tell you, I'm definitely going with LeBron for sure, easily. I like Wemby, but their upside, LeBron got a better upside. Like Wemby is just tall as fuck, so y'all think he got the better upside and he can do little guard shit. But no, Bron got the best upside because it's easy to pair him up with people, and you know he's gonna, especially when he was younger, he's gonna influence, he's gonna contribute to winning more. Like when he got drafted to Cleveland, they went up 18 wins. When he got drafted, they was a 17 win team that went up to 35, missed the playoffs obviously. Next year won 41 games. Like you improve with LeBron. Whereas Wemby, you got to put a great team around him. Because to me, Wemby can't just go out there and just take a team. Kobe and Mike, I don't even think they should be in the conversation for real. Especially Kobe. No disrespect, I love Kobe, but Kobe was the 13th pick. He shouldn't even be in the conversation. And Mike is only in the conversation because he was the GOAT. But when Mike got drafted, nobody thought he would be there. Mike was the third pick in the draft, bro. He would never be the first pick based off attributes. And you got to build a really, really good team around Mike and Kobe because them by themselves, it's going to be a lot of losing basketball. They don't really improve. They need other people to help improve, So obviously you need a Mike and Kobe to get you to the chip. But, when Mike and Kobe were by themselves without superstars, their teams was under 500. So, or losing in the playoffs in the first round. So, yeah, I would have put Shaq. I would have put Shaq on here.